Let's talk about buying or selling the Pacers. What are we thinking? Personally, I'm selling their ass for a multitude of reasons. They literally have no other center right now because Isaiah Jackson tore his Achilles, James Wiseman tore his Achilles, Miles Turner, I
Damn.
believe, got hurt as well, so they ain't got a center.
Next.
Tyrese is on super fraud watch right now. Their best player is
Ass.
Benedict Mathurin, so I think this team
Haliburton.
got a lot of issues.
Yeah, I'm selling on the roster. I kind of made these points at the beginning of the season. I don't believe in their defense or their bench. And Tyrese Haliburton, like you said, is on fraud watch, and he needs to be a superstar that we thought he was to actually have this team be competent. But if they can't play any defense, the team's just going to straight up suck. So I'm selling this
You
team.
know what I want to say?
Bye.
You know what I want to say?
What?
I was hating on Jason Tatum for the way he handled the whole Olympic thing. You know, pouting, whatever, how he looked. You know what I mean? You could tell Tyrese was, oh, you know, I'm having a good time. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah.
And so, but then, like in hindsight, you see, like one of them is just a competitor. You know what I mean? Like he wants to be out there, wants to be playing, like wants to do his best. And Haliburton he was living his life. He's having the time. So he doesn't have that. I don't see that as a chip on his shoulder like Tatum had from not playing any minutes. And I get that Tatum's had a much longer career, much longer tenure of superstardom. So it was more like appalling for him not to play. But even so, it's just like just the fact he wasn't playing, he was pushing himself to prove why he should be playing. You know what I mean?
Quick,
and it's like Haliburton did like the opposite. You could tell he's like more comfortable.
Bro, thought it was all sunshine and rainbows, bro. This
add on to your point, like even the school project doing nothing and still winning a school project tweet embodies what you're saying. Like Jason Tatum would never say something like that and post
But they've always been different personalities. Jason Tatum's always been like locked in, like Kobe mentality type shit. Tyrese Haliburton's always been a goofball. Like he's just been like a knucklehead. You know what I mean?
I'm always pointing it out how you can see.
If we're being honest about Tyrese Haliburton, like he kind of just came out of nowhere to break out. When he was drafted and playing with the Kings, we always expected him to be like a number 2 type of player, to a De'Aaron Fox or to somebody else, right? Like a Sabonis or something. So him breaking out was kind of like, I don't want to say out of necessity, but when he got to the Pacers, like there was really nobody there for him to compete with. So we just took the reins and ran with it. But now we're just kind of seeing, now that they got Pascal Siakam, and pretty much since that trade, like he just hasn't, you could tell, like, because he ain't getting opportunities, he can't capitalize off being the best player, and he has to fall back into that number 2 role because, like, teams don't respect his scoring at all. Like, he doesn't have good athleticism to blow by people. He doesn't have a go-to move. He doesn't have handles on a string or nothing. Like, there's nothing about his offensive game besides his playmaking that will make you, like, really fear him, and he's not even shooting well this year. So a lot of what made him so good, I just don't think, I think the NBA has learned how to contain it, and I don't think that it's something that's super special where it's like he's going to come back. I mean, he could shoot better, obviously, but I don't think it's, he's not some special athlete or special talent that, he was never supposed to be that from the jump.
He's like he averaged about 20 for the past 2 seasons. I can see him getting back there just because of opportunity and playmaking style. But like you said, people learn and catch on to his moves, and he hasn't adjusted to the NBA. And so I don't know what the future holds for him right now, but he definitely has the talent and capability to get to that level again.
I don't think he's ever going to average 20 again, bro. To be completely honest, like the playmaking will always be there. Like he can average, even though he's not even averaging assists for shit this year, he's down on that too. I think that can get back up to what it used to be. But the scoring, like if you watch him play basketball, he's passing up good shots. Like he can't get by his defender half the time. Like you put a solid defender on him, he's not blowing by him. He can't cross him over. Like his go-to move is a step back 3 because he can't get by his dude. And it's like, those are low quality shots, especially if you're not hitting him. So
I just be better though.
I guess,
he's got to work at it.
That's something you got to do in the off season. You can't do that during the year. You know what I mean? Like this year might be cooked for. Like okay, he can get better next year for sure, but I don't see him getting better mid season, especially that you play every other day, every day. Like you don't got time to really work on your shit.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see. I see where you're coming from.
He's got to lock in, bro. He can't be doing the same shit he was doing before. People figured it out, bro. Come on.
Yeah, they figured it out for sure.
Word for word. If his shot's not falling, he's just like, all right.
Even Kyrie, like Kyrie's probably one of the most shifty players of all time, and he even said, and during like off season, he'll learn counters and moves because people start to catch on to what you're doing and you have to learn different ways to score in the NBA. And
Yeah.
he's been doing that for years. I remember Iman Shumpert saying, like, when he was at his peak defensive capability, he'd watch videos of Stephen Curry and like know exactly what he's gonna do from this and that. Like, it's their job, and they're literally getting paid to play defense or be a specialist at something. And so Tyrese Haliburton's bag is not nearly as good as Stephen Curry or Kyrie Irving, and they're still like trying to learn ways to have variety. And so Tyrese Haliburton only has one move and no counter. You're definitely gonna get locked up and have to learn something new, or you're just gonna be outdated in the NBA.
He's like a
today.
shitty anime side character. He just sucks.
Luckily, the playmaking you'll never lose that, and like the mentality from that, unless you're Ben Simmons and you just straight up.
No, don't even put that in the earth. Take it back.
You know what's crazy? He's had some Ben Simmons ass moments where he like passes up open layups to try to jump pass back to three. Like, bro, just shoot the floater or something. Like, it's wide open.
Yeah, Tyrese is definitely smart though. Like I've seen him break down shots. I remember the Nemhard 3-point shot that he made against the Lakers, the buzzer beater or something like that a couple years back. He broke that down pretty well in terms of like where spots are supposed to be, like where others are going to be, and seeing when to pass the ball on time and stuff like that. So he definitely has a really good basketball mentality. So I think from a playmaking standpoint, you'll have that. Scoring wise, I don't know. Like that said, he might not hit 20 again.
I agree with that pretty much. The playmaking's always there. He's always looking to pass, and he definitely has like a good feel for the game. So it's just like that'll never go away. It's just when you know how to play, when you grow up playing, it's like this always sticks with you.
Exactly. Just got to figure out ways to score again, and I think he might be. I don't know. We'll see if he can get there, but
you need. That's why it goes back to my point. It's just like you could tell that Jason Tatum had like a certain chip and gave him a certain work ethic in the offseason. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I feel like Tyrese didn't. You know,
goes back to Bez's point, like of higher standards. I feel like Jason Tatum being a top 3 pick, kind of his standard was set at a higher bar than Tyrese, who fell to like
100%. He came into a winning mindset organization. They had to win now. Like it was not the Kings, bro. The Kings, he was a backup off the bench. Like, all right, you come in and De'Aaron Fox out. Jason Tatum was like, all right, dude, you gotta like lock in, be it like a star ASAP because we gotta go win some chips.
Yeah,
Haliburton
behind Gordon Hayward.
Well, I wouldn't even say that for Tatum because Tatum got drafted to a team that had like Kyrie, Gordon Hayward, so he wasn't even, and Jaylen Brown, so he wasn't like. Obviously a top 3 pick, you expect them to be good, but like he didn't even have to be that good off the rip for them to be a playoff team, but he just came in as that. And I think Tyrese, like Omari said, like Jason Tatum coming off a ring, like you would expect if that anybody's going to slow down, it's a player, you know, coming off a ring, finally winning a championship, but he stayed hungry. He heard all the noise. People were saying, you got Kerry, you're not the best player on your team. And he's coming out and showing that this year. Meanwhile, Tyrese, you know, having a high year going to the Eastern Conference Finals, like it seems like he kind of laid back and just kind of went with the flow, didn't really add anything to his game to make other teams respect him anymore.
Yeah. Well said.
That's where I'm going.
I think he'll get back to where
right now, Trae Young is shitting on Haliburton's career, so let's see what happens.
A lot of East point guards are, man.
Trae Young, baby.
Hey, LaMelo shitting on him too, bro. Let's be 100%,
real. 100%, bro. I can name you more players.